My name is Laurent Bouchoucha. I am Vice President Business Development for Enterprise Networking at Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise. We will talk about digital transformation based on IoT, so hopefully a relevant topic for this excellent event. Just a quick introduction about our company. We are a provider of communication and networking solutions. We are a 103-year-old company, so we've been through multiple transformations. So I guess you will believe me that when I talk about transformations, I know what it means. We are a multinational company operating in 50 countries and headquartered in Paris, in France. Let us dive directly into the topic of digital transformation, which is, as we all know, a fantastic opportunity for business lines and operations team to increase competitiveness, bring more productivity. We all know that. However, we also know that for IT teams, which are at the heart of this transformation, since we need to deploy and run and maintain IT components, it represents a burden and a challenge. And as we know as well, these teams are usually already constrained, both in terms of budget and people. The good news here, and that will be the essence of the presentation today, is that we have a number of tools that will help us hopefully bridge that gap between opportunities and challenges. A bit more details here, and this is stuff that we all know. We have potential improvements thanks to digital transformation in terms of customer experience, obviously, in terms of business agility, in terms of efficiency, and also in terms of business continuity, which is really the capacity to react faster in case of incidents or in case of problems. And I will have a use case to give you at the end of the presentation. Regarding IT, deploying IoT to support digital transformation obviously requires connectivity expansion, and sometimes a lot of connectivity expansion, because we are talking about thousands, tens of thousands, and in some cases, millions of objects to connect. We also know that security is a challenge and needs to be managed. We have a lot of devices also to care about, to manage, to make sure that they are, let's say, properly maintained. And finally, as it was also mentioned by Mr. Garcia in the previous presentation, we need to integrate these objects with our enterprise applications and make data accessible to the right people at the right time. In terms of tools, obviously everything around IoT, so all the data that we can gather, lots of analytics that we can get from network and also other IT components, workflow tools or business process automation, and we'll go through that in quite some details. And finally, some location services, because it's not only interesting to connect IoTs, it is also extremely important to be capable to locate them in real time in our facilities. And again, I'll go through some examples. First thing to do is to know what we have. It seems quite obvious. I know, and you know, it's not the case. Let me just take an example or multiple examples in hospitals environment. You have doctors that need to improve their diagnosis capacity, and that will bring a new connected object in order to take some additional measures on some specific patients. So what they will do, simply, they will bring their device and connect them to the Wi-Fi or to the wired network without even notifying IT. So what do we do here in terms of cybersecurity? We are totally in the dark. So the first thing to do is to know what we have, which means automatically discover everything that is connected on the network. Get information on device type. So the network will know already for a certain number of devices. If it's not enough, the network will connect to cloud databases with up to 30 million different IoT types that are referenced in order to know what we have and get the IoT signature. We'll obviously know about the connection medium. Is it wired? Is it Wi-Fi? Is it Zigbee? Is it Bluetooth? Is it LoRaWAN? We need that information as well. And also the location, which is key important for some use cases. And once we know what we have an automatic inventory. Pretty interesting to go back to that doctor or to those people, those business lines or in some organizations that are bringing objects without telling IT. And to ask them, okay, how relevant is this for your activity? And if it's not relevant at all, then we will discard automatically this device. And if it's relevant, it will be a first opportunity for IT to discuss with operations and the business to understand the requirement, explain about the security requirement, and create the policy together. What we also want, and that's quite an innovation as well that we are providing, is IT to be notified in real time for any new object connected. And to be notified real time, it cannot be in enterprise network management tools, because those people, they have a life, they don't work 24 hours a day, so they need to get that information sometimes in real time. That's why such information of your new device is pushed to unified communication solutions, meaning what we all are using every day in our respective companies to chat, to do audio conferences or video conferences. And in that case here, as you can see on the slide, you have a notification for the IT guy on the smartphone saying, okay, we have identified a new medical device. Do you want to accept it or not? Then you click yes or no, and the network will react accordingly to either accept the device or to reject it. Once we know what we have, we need to authorize, meaning giving access, setting up security policies, and configuring automatically in the network what applications are authorized to access for those devices. Okay? So pretty easy in terms of concept, pretty straightforward in terms of deployment. And after that, in terms of security, what is absolutely important, and something I'm repeating day after day, year after year, and it starts to be picked up, we need to perform segmentation on the network, which is simply about putting objects, connected objects, in different segmented areas of the network, in different logical networks from only one physical infrastructure. Okay? The advantage of that is that, for example, if you take an hospitality example, like in this slide, room automation is separated from video surveillance and is separated from gaming. What does it mean? If you have a device, an air conditioning device that is compromised from a security point of view, the rest of the network and the rest of the connected objects will not be impacted. Okay? So the surface of attack is reduced by approximately 2/3, 60% less surface of attack. All this is automatic. Next, we need to locate what we have. We need to know what we have, and we have the capacity to locate using Wi-Fi or using Bluetooth infrastructure everything that we have in terms of objects that are mobile. Pretty interesting to avoid theft of devices or to increase productivity of people that need to find a mobile object. We have the case also in the healthcare world where it takes sometimes hours for nurses or staff to find a wheelchair, something that simple in hospital. So here, this is a first way to improve productivity. We can also notify, meaning you have a device that should not exit or enter a specific facility. So we create zones, and when a device is detected to either enter or exit a facility, you can get a notification as the security group or the IT group. Okay? And obviously, we have a real-time status of everything that is available in terms of connected objects. So that was relatively quick on security, and I invite you to come to our booth. It's 137, it's over there, to discuss more about security. I don't want to get to all the details right now, and plus I have only 20 minutes, and the subject deserves a lot more. I will get to the heart of the subject, which is how do we bridge the gap between business lines and operations on one side and IT on the other side. And it's really enabling communication between people. So what you see at the center here is unified communications. So again, tools that we use to chat, to do audio conference, to do video conference, but that have customization capabilities. And the market acronym is CPaaS, meaning Communication Platforms as a Service, which is leveraging workflow engines. And the workflow engines will help you define what you want the infrastructure to do in case of an event. I will give you details after, don't be scared. But also gives you customization capabilities in the sense that using application programming interfaces, we can connect together people, applications, network infrastructure, and connected objects, okay, on a single communication interface. I think it will be easier to capture with a couple of examples here. So again, we are talking about digital transformation, and we are talking about creating new, automated, digitalized business processes. An healthcare example here about optimizing the patient flow from entering the hospital to exiting the hospital, okay? So here we are using location-based services, meaning that we know in real time where the patient is. And if you look, and I'm sorry it's not so readable here, you have information for each patient on how much time was spent in each room with each doctor, in the corridor, and so on. So this is used by several hospitals working with us to optimize their flow for the patients. First point. Secondly, thanks to the capacity to not only locate patients but also devices, we can improve the productivity of staff. Again, I have a patient that needs a wheelchair who is here, and I have a wheelchair over there. I have this information in real time, so I can bring the wheelchair pretty easily. So optimizing the usage of the facility, we talked about it. And finally, what we are capable to do, and it's pretty interesting as well, is to replay or to do the historical movement of everyone. So we call that contact tracing, and it's pretty interesting in case of pandemic situation. If we have a contact case, we can replay historically all the people that have been in less than 1 meter or 2 meters from these people, okay? So this is an example of optimizing and digitalizing a business process in healthcare. Another one, and here we'll go a little bit more in the subject of making the life easier for IT. In that example, we are talking about video surveillance. So we have security personnel that is watching the screens in order to see if something is happening. And then we can have, it happens, problems with the video. We know that technically, the fixing is very simple. If you reboot the port on the network switch where the camera is connected, it will reboot the video surveillance camera, and then it will work back again in 50% of the case. The point is, what is happening today is that you have the security people that are calling IT, opening a ticket, saying it doesn't work, and then you have IT people that already have a lot to do that need to do this fixing. So why not get operational people to do the fixing? And that's exactly what we propose here. So again, we are talking about the communication interface, the communication application that everybody is using in the organization for audio conference, video conference, and chat. And here you will have a bot, a chatbot, that will send a message to the security personnel saying, you have noticed an issue in video surveillance feed. The video does not work properly. Do you want to fix it? And the options are yes, no, or no, and create a ticket to IT. Ideally, the person says yes, clicks yes, and then it's fixed, thanks to a reboot of a network switch happening in the background. Obviously, we are not telling the security people about these technical details that they do not care about, but this is what's going on. At the same time, because we don't want a network reconfiguration to happen in the back of IT, we want them to know and to have the full visibility of what has been done. Same interface, and we send them automated messages saying, okay, dear network admin, there has been an issue with this video surveillance feed. User has triggered the reconfiguration and has acknowledged that the video surveillance feed is back on. So, problem fixed by user, which I guess is the dream of many IT responsible people. Okay. Third and final example here for today. This example is public venue. Okay, so could be a mall, could be an hotel, could be any type of public venue. And here we will talk about incident response. And the incident here is an IoT, a sensor that has detected an excessive CO2 measurement. Okay, so potentially dangerous for people. So what happens here? I have my unified communication interface, and basically I have the IoT that is automatically generating, creating, opening a video conference between the various stakeholders, so head of the facility, head of security, and they get automatically the data from the sensor. So sensor saying, okay, I'm triggering a video conference. You have a problem with CO2 data. Here is the data. By the way, you can ask the bot for more data if you need, in natural language in the system. And then you have the two people in charge that can get the data in real time and take the right decision instantly. And basically what you've seen, what they said here, they have also the capacity to push the feed, video surveillance feed, of the area where the problem is to check if there is panic of people or if there is an impact. So everything seems normal here, and what they do is that they're adding in the video conference the personnel on site to go and fix the problem. Okay? So imagine how it's done in the old world or in the current world in many organizations. Here, in a couple of seconds or minutes, you have the data, the right people informed, and the right people triggered to fix the problem. Okay? So, in a nutshell, what do we need to achieve the digital transformation and get the operational and business benefits, but not doing that at the expense of IT? And again, we have many customers in the areas of healthcare, of transportation, of smart cities, of education, where IT teams are really extremely small in size in terms of the number of people. And when we talk to them about digital transformation, they are willing to support this for their companies or their organizations, but they don't know how to do that because they don't have the time. They're already, for lots of them, working on evenings and weekends. So what we want to do is to make life simpler for them. So how do we do that, and what do we need? We need a network infrastructure, LAN, wireless LAN, which is automated in terms of configuration. If you have to configure each equipment individually, you cannot get the business benefits. It has to provide segmentation, meaning a device that is compromised is contained. Okay? Secondly, you need obviously connected objects. and you need graphical interfaces in order to have your automatic inventory, know what's going on, know what's connected. That enables you to have the right conversation as an IT person with the business and operational stakeholders to make sure we put in place the right security policy. And finally, you need the modern tools, IT tools of workflow engines, meaning no-code platforms that help you define that if a sensor is detecting a CO2 level that is exceeding a predefined threshold, then we want a series of events to happen. And the series of events is to create a video conference with the head of the facility, the head of the security, pushing IoT data, and enabling through a chatbot the capacity to get even more data from maybe the same IoT or different ones. And this is done with a no-code platform that is embedded in, again, the communication tools that we are all using every day. Because we cannot say that all these benefits are applicable only when you are sitting at a desk in front of an enterprise application. It has to be accessible on a smartphone anytime. That's exactly what we are doing. So, as a conclusion, again, we can get the benefits of digital transformation in customer experience, efficiency, everything we've talked about, business agility for the operations and business teams. We can address the needs for connectivity. We can help on cybersecurity. We know that nothing will be perfect, but if we first know everything that is connected to our infrastructure and we segment the network, we are reducing the surface of attack by 2/3, which is quite significant. We provide the tools, thanks to application programming interface, to connect with the existing IT environment, be it in terms of applications or in terms of infrastructure. And that's something that was well highlighted before by Mr. Garcia. Interoperability is key, so that's what we provide here. And obviously, all the tools for analytics, data, location data, which is important, and everything related to business process automation. So what we aim here is simply to give IT and OT, IT and business, a common language to be successful together with their digital transformation. Thank you very much for being here. Great event. Thanks. And for any question, it's right now with me or later on booth 137.
Thank you very much. And let's do a couple of questions.
Hi, my name is Nadia. I'm from BSG. Thank you very much for your presentation. On your platform, do you have a pre-built scenarios for each industry, or do you customize it every time you start in different industry?
So it's our objective to have as many services that are off the shelf represented, let's say, the non-common use cases that we are doing. And we will start to launch some of them by December this year, okay? Especially the most common use cases regarding network reconfiguration. But now, as we are, let's say, in the infancy of usage of those technologies, at the moment, there is a lot of custom-built services and use cases based on our customers' requirements. Okay, so today, a lot of customization. Tomorrow, hopefully, a lot available off the shelf. It's really the beginning. Yeah. While you're thinking about potentially additional questions, what's interesting is in the old world of IT development, we were talking about development cycles of 6, 9, 12, 18 months, depending on the technology. Now, thanks to no-code platforms and application programming interfaces, we talk about 3, 4, 5 weeks to get those use cases available. So this is where also we can propose not anything, but we can propose a lot of customization because the project will not take 6 months or 12 months, thanks to these new technologies.
I wanted to ask, how do you think in the future Well, with new technologies coming up, is there going to be again a bridge to close or to build and a gap to close? Or now that we are again closing the gap, will it just stay and the technologies will develop together and more synchronously?
Yeah, interesting ones, and I guess you also mentioned, let's say, the organizational part, which is do we want or will we see IT teams and operations teams merge in organizations as they will get more and more tools like this to speak the same language? I would say it depends. What we see is still a lot of separation between teams. Which is okay if you provide, again, the right tools, the right training. For example, cybersecurity to all employees, things that we see happening more and more in companies. But honestly, it varies from what we see. If we look at the transportation world, which is one of our key market, we see operational and IT teams being integrated and merged together in what is called sometimes pods, so meaning you have an individual of each group or each métier to work together in a single team. So we see such merging in transportation. If we look at smart cities, for example, we see still a separation, an organizational separation, which I think is okay as long as they can talk together and use the same language and understand each other regarding opportunities and constraints. But education of business people, operation people is key regarding all the challenges we face in IT.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For this amazing presentation.
Thank you very much.